All right, gentlemen, we are back again, and this time this is going to be about Xbox because I just saw a video from Spawnwave talking about how the new Gears of War Doomsday game, or whatever the hell it was going to be called, is no longer coming to PlayStation, even though it was confirmed to be coming to PlayStation. They had the PlayStation logo for it, all this stuff, and it was even on an Xbox podcast or whatever, and everyone saw the PlayStation logo for the game. Well, that's been scrapped. It was supposed to be, in fact, it was supposed to show up in PlayStation's State of Play, their most recent State of Play. That didn't happen, obviously. And the same thing's happening for a Halo game. There was going to be a Halo game. I don't know if it's the one that we saw just months ago when that fucking idiot representing Xbox went up there on stage with the stupid-ass PlayStation shirt, and he was basically just making, Xbox look like a complete joke or whatever. I'm guessing that's the Halo game. I'm not entirely sure, or maybe it's another one. I don't really know. I haven't been keeping up too much, but apparently not only is, Gears of War Doomsday no longer coming to PlayStation, neither is some Halo game. That has been completely scrapped, and I guess that's all thanks to Asha Sharma, who is way better than that fucking idiot Phil Spencer. So I think this is funny. I think this is awesome that they're just scrapping this shit. Like, so many people were saying, yeah, those games still have to come to PlayStation because, it's in the works, and they probably signed a bunch of contracts and development, blah, blah, blah. Well, Microsoft just basically said, oh, no, actually, we're not doing that. We're not bringing these games to PlayStation. And what's even more funny is that there are articles talking about how they may have just soured their relationship with PlayStation. It's like, buddy, where have you been in the last couple years? You're going to sit here and act like Xbox has soured their relationship with Sony and PlayStation when, let me remind you something, it was actually PlayStation who was money-hatting games away from Xbox. And they've been saying that from the very beginning. Phil Spencer's been talking about, they're money-hatting games away from Xbox and all this shit, right? They've been doing that. They have not been playing ball with Xbox. And then on top of that, just recently, when it was revealed that Xbox Project Helix, their next Xbox system, was going to be able to play PC games, get Steam and all that other stuff, what happened? What immediately happened? PlayStation said, hey, we're no longer putting our games on PC. Why? Because they don't want Xbox players to be able to play their games. They don't want any of their games to be playable on an Xbox console. So you want to talk about souring relationships? That was Sony PlayStation that did that. Don't try to act like fucking Xbox is souring their relationship here. From what I'm seeing, the new leadership at Xbox is basically saying, fuck you, PlayStation. They're giving PlayStation and their fans the middle finger, and I have a lot of respect for them now for that. So this it's pretty cool that this is happening, and hopefully they continue to push hard on that message. Like, yeah, we're no longer putting games on PlayStation. Now, let me just make myself clear, because there's a lot of people out there who still think, Xbox going multiplat isn't bad. Okay, well, let me just say this. Going multiplat may not be bad, but putting your fucking games on PlayStation, stupid. Absolutely fucking stupid. And especially when PlayStation has been screwing you over. They've been doing everything they can to sabotage your company. The last thing you should be doing is putting your damn games on their system, all right? That shit is just pathetic. That is just complete cuckery at its finest. So I just wanted to make a quick video about that. I think that's pretty funny that they're doing that. Now, if they want to put those games on Nintendo, that's no biggie. Nintendo hasn't been fucking, screwing with Xbox like that. They hadn't been trying to money hack games away from Xbox or anything. And Nintendo's also a very good company, unlike PlayStation. So, it's okay doing business with Nintendo like that, right? So it's totally fine. But doing business with PlayStation, when PlayStation's like trying to sabotage you, super fucking dumb. Makes no sense whatsoever. So yeah, it almost kind of makes me wonder if this was the plan all along. But then again, I don't want to really give too much credit to a fucking idiot like Phil Spencer. I just can't stand him. But what if that's the case? What if this was the plan all along? Was to basically pretend like they were going to put those games on PlayStation just to be like, oh, nope, let's pull the rug from underneath them. Screw them. We're not doing that, just to make headlines. I don't know. But then again, I don't know, maybe Xbox really was being stupid because, Phil Spencer has always been a damn two-face. He's, for many, many, many years, long before they foolishly started putting their games on PlayStation, you had Phil Spencer over here saying, exclusivity just doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. So now that fucking loser is out of the picture and it's Asha Sharma running the show, suddenly they're bringing, back exclusivity. And that's kind of ironic, that, it's a very hot, beautiful Asian girl or Indian girl who's doing this. You would think that the minority would be like, hey, yeah, let's sell out and let's, give our games to the competition or whatever. They would be the ones selling out. Kind of like how our politicians are selling us out and, bringing in foreigners and all that stuff. But no, she's doing the complete opposite. She's like, nope, we're not putting our games on PlayStation. Before they had their big Xbox event just recently, there was something where people were mad because they saw the PlayStation logo for these Xbox games, and she basically responded to it lightning fast, saying, this was a big miss. I take full responsibility. And now this happens. Now they're just like, yeah, we ain't putting those games on PlayStation, actually. So it's like, damn, did she really just make the call and just said, hey, I don't care if contracts were signed or how long this has been in development. We're pulling the plug on this, and we're not putting these games on PlayStation. I don't know, but if that's the case, well, good for her. She's already better than Phil Spencer, and it seems like she's somebody who actually wants the Xbox fans to, she wants the Xbox fans to appreciate her, and she's doing everything she can to please them. So she seems like a really good leader so far. So I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing from them, and I have respect for them again. So, hopefully this actually boosts the sales of the Xbox consoles and more people start to come back to Xbox. But of course they gotta really put the message out there like, look, we got exclusives, we got this Game Pass, and you know what, Game Pass is gonna have exclusives and all that stuff. They gotta do stuff like that. It can't just, they can't be light with the message. When Phil Spencer was fucking sabotaging the company and this piece of shit was like putting games on the PlayStation 5, boy, were they doing everything they can to let the whole fucking world know about it. And it's like, damn, y'all do a better job of marketing this bullshit push to put your games on the PlayStation 5 than you ever had just marketing your own games. They did a better job of marketing that than they did marketing Game Pass. I don't even think it's like they half-assed it when it comes to hyping up Game Pass. Like, they cared more about getting people to buy a PlayStation 5 than, pay for Game Pass. But now it looks like things are changing now for the better. So good for Xbox, good for Asha Sharma, and hopefully they continue to do this. Hopefully they continue to stick the middle finger to PlayStation, but they need to go beyond that at this point. I think they should start using all the money they have, Microsoft and all them, to start taking games away from PlayStation 5 as well. They should start doing that as well. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, they should start doing that. So PlayStation was doing that to them. Do it right back. Say, hey, you know what? We got way more money than you, and we're going to take away all these games from you. They should have fucking done that shit with GTA 6, if you ask me. Stupid as hell that they didn't. But it's a new leader right now at Xbox, and so there's a lot of possibility there. I mean, if she's willing to just completely cancel these games that were confirmed to be going to PlayStation, and now they're not, just simply because she said no, then what's to stop them from doing that? What's to stop them from money-hatting games away from PlayStation as well? I think that's what they should do. I definitely think they should start doing that. They should really, give PlayStation and Sony a taste of their own medicine. So, yeah, with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for this video. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I will talk to you all later.